Who the fuck is discriminating against Asian Americans right now? I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing? Just my question. Who the fuck is discriminating against Asian Americans? I just want to know. And how much ignorance do you gotta have? And you can't blame people who are ignorant, for they do not know what they do not know. That's why they're ignorant. But are you serious? God. You have to commit intellectual and compassionate suicide. You gotta kill all your intellect and all your compassion to discriminate against Asian Americans or the Asian community in general for what's happening in America. I just want to know. But anyway. Hi. Lana's great. That had nothing to do with Lana. Outside of the fact she's Asian American. She's great. People show their worst face in these situations is what I'm reading. You're right, but they also show their best. I'm going to do this update. But I've heard so much about that, and it's infuriating. So we're not, I just want to say, it's ludicrous. It is ludicrous. It is ludicrous to do such behavior, to have such behavior, right? To act that way, to blame, a certain ethnicity, to blame a certain race for COVID-19. Okay? It's not Trump's fault. It's anyone that listened to that and then went, I agree with that. That's who it's. Everybody's accountable for this, not just one person that said something. So, for what we know, this virus was caused in an open marketplace when you got a bunch of different dead animals all together. Their bacteria fuses together and it creates different types of bacteria that are super bacteria, and then they become diseases. Guns, Germs, and Steel, Jared Diamond, Sapiens, Yuval, we know this. So maybe it was made in a lab, who knows? But for right now, it was because all these different dead animals were mixing together, and that's what happened, right? There was a virus, people got it, happened to start in China because their markets, but not just China's markets, there's a lot of international marketplaces that have dead animals that all are within each other's space. So it just happened to form there. And that's not anyone here in America's fault. That's not people in Asia's fault. That's not Asians' fault. That's a cultural thing. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I just had to say it. I listened to the New York City mayor give a speech today. I listened to Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA, and I listened to the update, the federal update. I got some notes. I'm trying to keep this shit super simple because there is a lot. There is so much information right now. Not much has changed, but they're working on a stimulus package for the economy, which pretty much means that if you apply for disability, you're gonna get your money. They're waiving certain fees. We don't know when that's going to happen, though, so hang in there. Oh, my hair is growing slowly. Happy about that. So check this out. If you're living in New York City, it's going to get worse. But we know this. Stay inside. Abide by the rules. If you haven't been infected already, stay in quarantine, because who knows, whether or not you have it and you aren't showing symptoms yet. If you're in a household and someone's pregnant and expecting, like your due date's like now, yesterday, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks in the future, a month in the future, you and your partner are allowed to go into the room for the Alessandra said the president of Brazil told people to leave the house. I don't know what to tell you. There's a pandemic happening across the world. Don't hoard by. Stay home as much as you possibly can. Is what I would say. Just because the president says something doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because Trump said that it's a Chinese flu doesn't mean that we have to be racist against Asian Americans. So it's like, I don't care what the president says. You got to listen to what the president says, and if he makes it a law, you got to obviously abide by those rules, because we're a first world country, and Brazil is, I think, a first world country, some places second world country, because it's developing certain institutions. But like, you got to do what you got to do. Take your life and your safety and the safety of others into your hands, right? Hold yourself accountable. That's all we can hope to do. So yeah, if you are with someone that is expecting to have a kid, if you're family, right, and you're having a kid, you both in New York are going to be allowed into the hospital unless one of you is symptomatic. And there's a process for qualifying people when they're getting into the hospital. So that won't change. That's a huge life thing that happens, is when someone gives birth and you want to be there for it. So they're going to let you be there for it unless you're showing symptoms, which is really tight. New York is also doing something which is sick. There's 5,000 incarcerated citizens in total on Rikers. And they're looking to let 1,100 of them go, just over 1/5. And the people that they're looking to let go are the people that have done misdemeanors and non-violent felonies with less than a year left of their sentence. That's 300 people. If you're over the age of 70 years old and you have pre-existing medical conditions, they're looking to let you go. That's about 100 of them. But then technical parole violators, pending the state approval, that's 700 people they're going to let go. By the way, if you don't know what a technical parole violation is, I didn't know what that was either a while ago. A technical parole violation is, let's say you went to jail for selling weed, right? You went to jail, you sold weed, and then you got out of jail 3 months later, slap on the wrist, you're on parole. You could be hanging out with your homies on a corner and a cop could roll and like frisk your homies, and if one of your homies has weed, but you didn't have weed, you go back to jail because you're in violation of parole. That's called a technical violation of parole. The mass majority of people that leave jail and prison go back to prison because of technical violations. They technically were just around it, so they went back. They didn't actually do anything wrong. So it's a huge issue, by the way, that Epic and the prison industrial complex is working on. Van Jones is a big advocate of that. If you're into that, Van Jones and the prison industrial complex, you can check that out. There's an increase of robberies in New York and an increase of bias incidents and crimes. That's the discrimination I'm talking about. Shit pisses me off. The Olympics got delayed a year. Wow! Shocker! I don't know, I'm fucking freaking out over that. The Olympics got delayed a year. 2021. Trump said it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful, great Olympics. I bet you it will be. I hope so, if we get this shit figured out. 1 million people have already applied for unemployment insurance, right? Million people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And it's said that once the government is cool with this, once they pass in the Senate, the House of Representatives, Congress, whatever, when they pass this next, it's a stimulus package, financial package, anybody that has applied for unemployment insurance is going to get 100% of the salary that they earned before they got laid off for 4 months. We don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully early April. But it's a pretty great fucking deal if you ask me. Not that I know. I don't know when they're rolling it out. I wish I did, but they are saying that if you apply for disability insurance because you got fired as an effect of COVID-19 in the United States of America, you will get paid 100% of your former salary prior to being fired for 4 months. Which by then they're hoping to have this whole thing figured out and you would go back to your job. But who knows? There's a lot of different incentives for small companies to do that. There's a lot of different incentives for banks now to be able to like give loans out to small companies. I don't know if you guys care about that. Companies that don't qualify for loans will get a tax incentive to retain their workers. So companies that aren't capable of receiving loans from banks are receiving tax incentives, like probably on federal tax, income tax, state tax, whatever, so that they're like, oh, we won't tax you as much, and then you can keep people on your workflow, which I think is tight. There's direct payments coming, so in addition to getting your salary, they're, I think, expecting to pay people like $1,000 or over $1,000, which is tight. Are they going to beat coronavirus in under? Lorraine says they're going to beat coronavirus in under 4 months. Yeah, right. No way. Well, here's the thing. In Wuhan, they are 3.5 months of lockdown. And at the 3.5 months, they started taking back the precautionary measures they've been doing. So the mayor of LA, Trump said that we're going to have it finished by Easter. This is a huge thing. Trump's like, by Easter, it's going to be gone. I mean, he didn't really say that, actually. That's completely wrong. He didn't say that. He said, churches will be filled with people by Easter, is what he said. Which, a lot of people don't celebrate Easter in this country. I certainly only do because my mom loves Easter. It's one of her favorite holidays. So 4 months beat Corona, probably not. But in 4 months, if we continue to social distance and stay at home and do these quarantine techniques and we actually really, buckle down and do this the right way, in 4 months' time, it's quite possible that we'll have a hold on this thing that we don't have right now, and people will start to be able to go back to a sense of normalcy in their lives. I believe. Hopefully. Best case scenario, right? That's actually, best case scenario is we get this thing in 3 months. So 4 months is like a solid thing I think. Yeah, there's $500 billion going to the Federal Reserve for emergency programs. There's $2 trillion being thrown around right now. I heard $6 trillion being thrown around to be $4 trillion of that pumped into the economy, $2 trillion of it to be separated, going around to different places in the United States, $500 billion of that to the Federal Reserve, a whole bunch of money to California, Los Angeles, all the different states. That's all the federal stuff. But essentially, all you need to know about the federal stuff is that the Olympics are delayed a year. 1 million people have applied for unemployment. And of everyone who applies for unemployment insurance, they're going to make 100% of their former salary for 4 months. So salary for 4 months if you apply for disability insurance. The Olympics got pushed until 2021. And they're working on a financial package that hasn't been said yes to yet. Mayor of LA is doing a kick-ass job. Eric Garcetti, I love him so much. Him and the mayor, Blasio, I think, of New York City tend to be very, very objective about what's happening right now and giving people proper information about timetables, which we'll get to in about 2 minutes if I don't keep ranting for way too long. The city will not cite this is for people that live in Los Angeles. The city will not cite nor tow people with expired registration. So, if you're not that you should be driving, but if you're like me and you suck at payments and your registration's expired, the cops are not going to pull you over for going to the grocery store or to the hardware store to get duct tape to seal all your windows because Corona might get in. It was a horrible joke. So yeah, you're not going to get towed or cited for having expired registration. There are no tickets also to drivers with expired driver's license. Shout out, have had a expired license for 7 years now. No late fees for water and power. Income qualified discount. Oh yeah, okay. So if you have a low income, if your family is right on the line for average income, or a little bit below, I believe, you qualify for a discount for your water and power bill. Go to ladwp.com. 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 All right. And you can get an extension on your payment so you don't have to pay it. Obviously, they're saying if you can pay, and I'm talking to you, not people that actually can't pay, not people that work paycheck to paycheck, week to week to make sure to keep the lights on, right? Those are people that qualify for things like this. But I'm talking to you, the person whose mom and dad, like mine, have always been from a middle class family. Well, earlier in my life, maybe not so much, but for the remainder of my life, for the last 19, 18 years, have come from a middle class family where you have never had to worry about a meal. You've never had to worry about the lights getting shut off. You never had to worry about none of that. Parents always had at least a car to drive you places. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do not qualify for this stuff, and you should not be saying, oh, well, if they don't have to pay their bills, I'm not going to either. It's like, yo, man, you got money coming in, you're set up, don't take advantage of what the government is handing out right now, because you are taking the place of a family that actually needs it. Same thing with hospital beds, same thing with medical equipment. This basic level stuff. If you don't need help, do not take the place of someone else who needs help, right? There you go. Just because it helps you a little bit, just because it facilitates. These are basic principles. If you need help, ask for help. If you don't need help, fucking keep living, bro. You're good. And if you can really help, if you really, really don't need help, help others. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have that, help others, man. Because why else are we here? If you're good, if you got everything you need, you know, like, help people. I promise you, you're going to learn that you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for you. Because that's fulfillment, right? People are like, you should do things for other people. And I say, do something for yourself. Help other people. 3.5 months of lockdown in Wuhan. Okay, so Los Angeles is 6 days away, less than a week away, to 12 days away. So let's call it, you and me, let's call this, we are 9 days away from being in the same situation that New York is in right now. New York is on the edge of having its healthcare system, it's on the brink. You know, that's why they're sending an entire Navy boat full of 1,000 beds to New York City. That's why they're building hospitals in New York City. So Los Angeles, we're sitting really pretty right now. We feel great right now. Because, take that back. A lot of us feel great right now. A lot of us are scared because of things happening in our families. A lot of us feel like this situation is getting worse. It will get way worse. And we know that. And what we see now is a very, very light version of what is to come. And we got to be prepared for that. But if you're staying inside, like I've been inside for 11 days. Something like that, 10, 11 days. Hard to keep track. You stay inside, right? You do what you're told. You abide by the stay-at-home order. This is across the country. You do these things. You stay safe. You stay smart. You only go out for essentials. You're going to be okay. For the most part. Some of us might not be. Some of us might slip up. Some of us might go out in public and, you know, where am I getting this information? I get it from the mayor's mouths, mayor of Los Angeles, mayor of New York, Eric Garcetti and Blasio, and then from the updates that the federal government, the whole group gives every day. And you can see it if you go on, if you type in Mayor Eric Garcetti Facebook, he has an update that you can watch every single day. If you Google Mayor of New York, Blasio update, you'll be able to find that too. And Fox, CNN, all these places cover what Trump says with his whole team of experts. that are giving us a lot of information right now, which is actually extremely helpful. You know, you watch an hour of these things. You watch What Up New Jersey? You watch like an hour and a half, hour 45, 2 hours of these things, then you get like 3 bits of information that are actually super helpful. So, you know, you got to sift through it, which actually I've never done before, and this is extremely eye-opening. And actually, I think it's kind of fun. But yeah, Los Angeles is, to give you perspective, in hospitals, our bed capacity is about 79 to 90%. So call it, you know, in every hospital, if there are 10 beds, 8 beds are taken. Okay? 8 to 9 beds. If there's 10 beds in a hospital, that means that we got 1 bed available, and we haven't even hit the worst part of this virus yet. And 79% is roughly where we live at on a regular basis. So imagine when we hit a surge, what's going to happen to us? It's going to be just like New York. And hopefully not so bad, because we got ahead of it. So psychologically prepare. You know? Prepare. It's going to get hard. For everyone who speaks Spanish, I'm going to be playing what the mayor says at the end of this, and like after I get through all my notes, which I am literally 1 bar away from. So if you speak Spanish, your parents speak Spanish, they don't speak English, you don't speak English, hold on, un momento, I'm going to play en español y 5 minutos. 5 minutos español explanation. Lo siento. Yeah, it's going to get a lot worse in LA, and we got to be prepared for it. And I'm really happy that you know, we got people that are caring and continuing to care. Okay, time for Mayor. Let me save this. There we go. Mayor Garcetti in Spanish. It's coming for you. This is for Los Angeles. The mayor of LA always makes a speech. I have to clean off my desk, guys. But the bed is made. Daily routine, baby. Get that daily routine. In NOAA news, we are going to launch something super exciting, and I hope you guys are ready for it, because I am. We're working on this really fun thing that we're going to be able to do on Instagram Live. I say we because it's me and someone who I love dearly, someone I love and care about so much, are working on something together to bring to you guys from a physically distant and socially distant precautionary main event where we hopefully give you guys something that you've been looking for a little while, and we're going to do it with charity. So more information coming soon. And I'm really excited to bring it to everybody. Sorry, I'm cleaning off my desk because I'm a mess. It's my grandfather and my grandmother. Never really met my grandfather. Met him like once. Grandma's cool. She live in Australia. All right. Ready? So, español and información en español con la mayor de Los Angeles. Gumi.
Muy buenas tardes, Los Ángeles, y gracias por venir otra noche. Estoy haciendo todo lo posible para ayudar y asegurar que todos los angelinos permanezcan protegidos y sanos, y tengan todos los recursos disponibles durante estos enormes cambios a nuestra economía, nuestras comunidades y nuestras vidas. Por eso, hemos tomado medidas importantes para mantenerlos dentro de sus casas. Pero aunque hagamos todo lo posible al nivel local, necesitamos que nuestros líderes en Washington nos apoyen en esta crisis. Tienen que parar sus disputas bipartidistas y colaborar para lograr un paquete que proteja a los trabajadores, apoye a las empresas, inviertan en nuestro sistema de salud y calmar nuestra ansiedad sobre el futuro. Hoy hemos recibido una pequeña esperanza de Washington y gracias a nuestros líderes finalmente por su acción. Un paquete enorme de 2 trillones de dólares para fortalecer la seguridad económica y la salud pública de nuestro país. Aunque no es un paquete perfecto, es un buen paso adelante. Este proyecto de ley incluye una gran inversión en los gobiernos locales como Los Ángeles, el condado, las ciudades del condado de Los Ángeles y estatales para cubrir gastos relacionados a nuestra respuesta a COVID-19. También aumentará beneficios de desempleo y necesitamos estos beneficios ahora, agregando más dinero para apoyar a los trabajadores quienes han sentido un gran impacto por esta crisis y dará un alivio directo para las familias trabajadoras y préstamos de emergencias para pequeñas empresas. Es un gran proyecto de ley y continuaremos trabajando con nuestros contrapartes en Washington durante todo el proceso. Si tu patrón ha cortado tus horas de trabajo o cerrado su lugar de trabajo, por favor, aplica para beneficios de desempleo del Estado inmediatamente en la página web edd.k.gov. Puedes encontrar ayuda navegando el proceso en uno de nuestros centros WorkSource o llamando al 311. Y recuerda, hace unos días lanzamos el portal de trabajos para ayudar a las personas desempleadas a encontrar trabajo y otros recursos durante esta crisis en lajobsportal.org. lajobsportal.org. La ciudad sigue tomando medidas para promover la sana distancia y estas medidas están funcionando. Estamos haciendo lo que debemos, pero también estamos evaluando la situación cada día. Esta mañana cerré el Cañón Runyon y estamos considerando cerrar más lugares de recreación al aire libre este fin de semana. Este cañón es uno de nuestros mayores tesoros en Los Ángeles, pero vimos este fin de semana que había demasiada gente allí y no lo podemos mantener abierta en este momento. También estoy anunciando una nueva orden de emergencia muy importante a usted y sus familias. Efectivo inmediatamente, los departamentos de la ciudad pueden tomar cualquier acción necesaria para comprar suministros de materiales, equipos y mano de obra necesarios para proteger la vida, la salud o la propiedad. Esto es un gran paso. Significa que más empleados de la ciudad pueden obtener equipo personal y desinfectante de manos y guantes. Todo lo que necesitan para protegerse mientras siguen el trabajo de mantener a nuestra ciudad operando, como arreglando las luces de la calle, recogiendo la basura, cortando árboles y limpiando las calles. Ustedes merecen estos servicios y continuaremos a proveer esto. También hemos asegurado que el Departamento de Transporte detenga el aumento de multas por 60 días y todos recibirán una extensión de pago hasta el 1 de julio. Y como algunos quizás necesiten renovar su registración de automóvil ahora, empezando esta semana, la ciudad no va a remolcar o dar infracciones a vehículos con la registración vencida. Estamos en esto juntos. Estamos liderando juntos. Nunca he estado más orgulloso de esta ciudad y sus residentes. Gracias por sus acciones. Gracias por su participación en este. Estos son tiempos difíciles y habrá más días por llegar, pero nunca he dudado del espíritu, generosidad y poder de nuestra ciudad. Su ciudad está aquí para ustedes en cada momento. Quédense protegidos, quédense en buena salud, quédense en casa. Fortaleza y amor, Los Ángeles. Y hasta mañana. Until tomorrow, thank you all. May God bless you and keep you. Thank you.
Whoop, whoop. How do we turn this around? Hello? Hello? Alright. Well, there you have it. Until tomorrow. Stay inside. Stay safe. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'm going to keep doing this, so don't you worry. Yo no hablo español, pero el mayor de Los Ángeles dice español. Más o menos. So, there you go. I don't know what I'm saying. Love you guys. Good night. Buenas noches.